MrBeast has been taking a fair number of L's recently, so in the spirit of fairness, why not point out a W? Okay, last time we talked about this, I think it was the last time we talked about it. Regardless, there were some people that were out there trying to capitalize on a man being down, trying to kick him while he's there by guilt, by association, trying to tear down the empire that he has created for himself. Like, if you want to go ahead and do that, just leave it up to the people that are tangentially connected to that sphere, but no. No. If you're going to criticize the man, you better at least come correct. If you're going to take a shot at the king, you best not miss. And MrBeast employee debunks the fraud video claims by former worker. Yes, that was that big old video, the Dogpack 404 video. I was claiming that, yeah, MrBeast was running scam videos. Okay. Contests were a work, some of the conditions were horrible, all of that stuff, right? And it's like, the time that it's coming out, the time frame that it's coming out, could have been working on the project for a while and then just decided to drop it. And then next time that something was going to go wrong with MrBeast, could have just ended up, timing everything to crescendo for that video, and this just happened to be the most apropos timing, so something did seem a little bit off, but even with this clarification, I think the video it's just about approaching, or maybe it's already eclipsed 4 million views, so the horses are already proverbially out of the barn. MrBeast employee hit back at former workers' claims that many of the YouTubers' videos were staged and that the channel engaged in fake giveaways, referring to a video released on July 24th by a former worker who made serious claims about the authenticity of MrBeast's content. A current employee to the channel, Chucky, took to Twitter to dispute the accusations. Video in question, published by Dogpack 404, accrued over 3 million views in less than a week. In a lengthy post, Chucky said, "I want to quickly debunk some of the info in this video since the guy who made it was on my team." Oh, okay. Interesting. Stating that the former staff member, who goes by Dogpack 404 on YouTube, worked at the company for less than a month and wasn't an employee for most of the videos. Okay, that's interesting. Chucky addressed several key claims made by the ex-staffer. Chiefly, Chucky blasted the claim that only friends or family ever featured in videos. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's a wild statement that can be easily proven wrong. Or, yeah, given the number of videos that MrBeast puts out, it's like eventually you're going to exhaust that resource. So, yeah. I'm sure that there is some crossover. It's just ludicrous to assert that it's just, specifically nepotism to get you brought into a video. There are probably hundreds or thousands who have no affiliation to friends or family of Beast employees. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people. The accusations of the scripted video, they specifically refer to MrBeast's 100 boys versus 100 girls video as proof to the contrary. It was not scripted. Jimmy probably has countless people on set for that video. It would have been impossible to hide, and I was on set for this video and there was no bias for who won, the graphic designer added. Okay, one major claim made by Dogpack 404 was MrBeast's giveaway were fake or disingenuous was branded a lie. We do not do fake giveaways. We have been hands-on with some of them and have personally been the person to connect with winners and the accounting department to get paid. Yeah, see, there would be a paper trail for all of the giveaways given the fact that this is very much a for-profit business, and even on the philanthropic stuff that he has generated a ton of coverage for, the 1,000 people cured of blindness, the homes that were built, all of the plastic that was taken out of the ocean, everything is well documented. So yeah, of course, you're going to see the spicy title of MrBeast is a fraud, and those accusations are going to spread far and wide, but a simple, cursory amount of research, just a little bit of common sense would go ahead and debunk those super quick. So that's why it was always, things are looking bad, okay? But the truth will be out there for those willing to look. So when I'm seeing claims from a bunch of people now just looking like they're attempting to, chase a bag at a very vulnerable moment, I don't know how much credit you should put into those buckets. MrBeast is a monster. MrBeast, the alleged contestant, speaks out, claims unfair teams and contestants being depressed afterwards. Why is anything depressed afterwards? You didn't win. How is that MrBeast's problem? Honestly, MrBeast just wants to psychologically disturb people. I mean, let's play a fun game of count the pill containers that you have to open up every single day to see if it's MrBeast that has psychologically disturbed people, or if it's your own victimhood complex. Okay, yeah. When it comes to the accusations against Jimmy, MrBeast himself, I'm a little bit more skeptical to those claims. But when it comes to Kris, well, there seems to be an ever-growing list of reasons and concerns that this guy, this chick, this whatever the hell you want to call it, we can go ahead and settle on monster? I think monster is the appropriate description for Kris, because we can't figure out what exactly to call Tyson at this point in time, but some of Kris Tyson's old deleted posts across a variety of social media platforms have been dug up, including from his old Reddit account, TysonBoy34. They are incredibly disturbing, and yeah, right now at this point in time, Dark Hagel has a 31 post thread, including all of the previous creepy stuff, as well as a bunch of the other more disturbing accusations. If you'd like to go ahead and read through some of them, because there's some of them that if I just pull up on the screen, well, that might just end up getting this video memory hold like a certain Olympics opening ceremony video, but we'll get to that in due time, because I would imagine that would be something that is right up Kris's alleyway. But we have Discord leaks that ended up dropping this past Sunday. 500,000 posts or 500,000 images. It was a whole big thing, okay? And Drama Alert was right on top of it, and I let them comb through all of this stuff because, frankly, I was taking the weekend off, man. At least as much as I could, given how crazy this news cycle has been. But to just try to decompress, yeah, Sunday I was willing to sit the release out, okay? And I'm kind of glad I did, because we have all of this other information to just add on top of this. Hopefully put this topic to rest for a couple of days, maybe. Who knows at this point in time. But a thread of all the weird things Kris Tyson allegedly said to Discord. In the Discord with minors. He's only... Yo, what? Okay, so Kris the meme god. That is the person that we're looking for. That is the person who has been confirmed to be Kris Tyson in said Discord. But Kris allegedly sharing links to famed lolly artist Shadman. Yeah, and that spider web of very strange people, and that's another rapidly expanding topic involving a whole host of interesting characters, but another topic for another time. Kris allegedly being referred to as a lolly god. Lolly god is back, according to Discount Milk, a name that I've seen pop up a lot, and there are accusations out there as to who was running that account, who is the face behind that name, but I don't want to make any concrete accusations because there's a lot of stuff going on there. But back to some of the posts. Okay, so you have Kris here, and that's where you're wrong, kiddo. Discount Milk. Bruh, I just make my own seasoned salt out of the tears of children on Discord. Weird, but alright, referring to Discord users as degenerates. It's another day that ends in Y. And then Kris, I just eat the children. Would be an innocuous post for anybody else, but we've seen what Kris has been up to, so yeah, strange. Kris Tyson allegedly describing an anime plot, with a high school girl, but this one has been fact-checked, of course. It's a copy pasta from back in the cut, but the fact that he would just, willingly post that, it just kind of shows you what type of person that it is that we're dealing with here. Somebody who has a very, very decorated history of portraying minors in a certain light. Kris Tyson's alleged response to request to delete a not safe for work channel because there was minors in the Discord. Yeah, you should probably get rid of that if you have an all ages Discord, which is why Discord in general is degenerate and could be used in very select situations. But Kris's response to that, okay, is there even a way to do that? Discount Milk, no, not really. So what do you want me to do? Remove it? No, people like it. Just running down this list of things that are on here. Okay, Nathan fellow, people like it, even if there was a way. Anyone can lie about their age. What? Okay, and then laughing, I guess. And then Kris, yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, the internet is full of that stuff. It's like, yeah, I guess, but to have a concentrated area that you are supposed to be controlling, that's a little bit different. But then again, we're not dealing with reasonable-ish people. Discount Milk, once again, Discord says that if you can't regulate it, you don't have one. Exactly as responsibility of the server owner to prevent minors from viewing those types of material. Yeah, exactly, because on there, you're very much a publisher. Discord is the platform. You're responsible for the materials that is up there. Okay, and Kris's response, what am I, a parent? Well, yes, I'm not too sure of the time frame on that one. Because you are a parent now, but if you're running, or at least a moderator on the Discord, yeah, you are an authority figure, unfortunately. So, talking about water sports, what? Did Kris pee on her phone? Waterproof phone gang. What? I mean, that's strange. Allegedly, Kris Tyson role-playing. Oh, okay, fantastic. In the Discord, in the public Discord. And then a fan claiming to be 12, and Kris, alleged Discord server confirming there was minors in the server. So yeah, just in case you thought role-playing wasn't degenerate enough, he did so in the presence of minors. But that's alright, he's not a parent. Allegedly, a message from the minor to Kris. Yep, I'm not reading that, okay? Even if it is totally in context, I frankly don't care about that. But then, okay, if that wasn't bad enough, okay, if you didn't think all the grooming allegations were concrete enough, because what specifically is the law that would end up being broke on that one? Well, that's all right, even if you want to just go ahead and compartmentalize that as just a creepy but law-abiding relationship that you can theoretically foster with a child, not a position that I would go ahead and take. But even still, if you want to go, well, nobody was charged, bro. What about this? I was SA'd by Kris Tyson. Kris Tyson is now being accused, yes, by a new alleged victim. And this one's a little bit different because we have somebody at least claiming to be a girl. Okay, I was, SA'd by Kris Tyson. Here's my story for context. Ava and I are both adults and met each other as adults. Ava followed me on Twitter in November of 2022 after seeing my transition timelines. Oh, birds of a feather do degenerate things together. On Twitter, when I had under 500 followers. All right. During the trial period and my employment, Ava continued to receive favors from me multiple times, and I started to feel like I was being coerced. No. Because I started feeling that way, I decided to try and avoid any physical engagement between Ava and I that could lead to more. What? Okay. One-sided acts. I took a short trip to my home state in the end of July and returned back July 28th. That's when I got back. I continued to do my best to avoid anything between Ava and I. Yeah, it's just two bros tooting on each other's peckers together. Like, what do we have to see right there? But that's, that's kind of another conundrum right there, okay? Because if I was to look at that, just in a vacuum, right? Like, that is somebody looking to achieve, because apparently we're talking about somebody who was trying to get on the MrBeast team. Kris is, offering a position that was there alongside other positions as well. And it was a quid pro quo type situation, one that obviously didn't end up boring the fruit that Muskina was looking for. And I would say it's not really the essay that you're claiming that it is. It's more or less, a regretful situation that if you thought that if you could play a game of what can fit in my mouth, that would end up getting long-term security in some form or fashion. But that's me as a rational individual. When it comes to the people defending Kris, when it comes to the ardent leftists that are out there, they're all about the power imbalances and how those can be weaponized in certain relationships. And now that we're dealing with all different types of transformer Americans, what are they going to have to say about these accusations? That's what I'm wondering. But to put a nice bow on this situation, we got Keemstar right here, who over the past weekend, like I said, when I was just kind of piecing out, trying to decompress from social media, which is kind of what I'm going to be doing over this next week. I'm going to be taking it as kind of a light working vacation, okay? Not going to change any of the content. You're still going to get the same amount of videos every single day, but it's just me trying to, get everything back together and back in line, because I've been out of sorts recently. But that's neither here nor there. Just letting you know if things look on the channel just a little bit maybe out of date or something like that. Rest and recovering a little bit. With that said, hearing from Keemstar, especially when it comes to EFAP covering all the boogie stuff, that's been funny as hell. So I've been finding myself agreeing with Keem quite a lot recently. But to point out specifically what I agree with him on and what I don't agree with him on, that's got to be another topic for another time. But he hits the nail on the head when it comes to this situation, one that he is very close to, especially when it comes to the Shadman stuff, and then also his relationship with MrBeast, what he knows about Kris. Like, he's kind of an insider. Probably knows more than most, but not everything that's out there, if that's to go ahead and properly appraise the situation. So I seen this post. I thought it was fairly reasonable as to the situation that we find ourselves in. Kris Tyson and Dr. Disrespect's dark past was due to an online culture war. Fair, because like I said, it's like nothing so far as unsavory as you might think that it is. Nothing has really been illegal. Just still kind of creepy in all of this stuff. Like, you might find it personally objectionable, as do I in many of the instances here. If you're an adult, don't talk to kids in that nature, okay? And if you are talking to minors, the moment that you find out that they are under the age of 18, you just go ahead and go, oh, didn't know, and then you just leave that conversation. Make it as simple as possible. Like what men have to do in today's day and age when it comes to covering their ass in regards to potential accusations being thrown their way in the likes of, Andrew Tate, Russell Brand, any other Me Too type situation. You have to keep your head on a swivel. But continuing on, it starts with Nick Merckx saying, leave kids alone, speaking on, yes, the Alphabet Mafia, 1000%. This statement from Nick divided the entire online entertainment community into two teams. Yeah, I would say so. Nick Merckx versus Kris Tyson quickly became the leaders of each team. Yeah, because Kris was quite ardent about that situation, apparently, from what I could remember. Call of Duty took, yes, Chris's side, removing Nick Merckx' skin from the game for allegedly being transphobic by simply saying, repeat after me, leave the kids alone. Nick Merckx has gone on to be far more vocal, but that was after Call of Duty, game franchise that made itself legendary for its old voice chat lobbies, which RIP Xbox 360. At time of recording, they had just recently shut down their store servers. Man, sad, man. It's sad, especially, with the future that Xbox is carving for itself. But all in due time, we'll elucidate on those issues. Immediately, Call of Duty received online backlash from Nick Merck's team, and they included other streamers like Tim the Tatman and Dr. Disrespect, who orchestrated an online boycott of Call of Duty. Tim requested his skin also be removed from the game. Doc refused to stream COD ever again. In the months following the initial conflict, Kris Tyson and a Team Woke got into many online Twitter battles with Nick Merckx and Team Leave the Kids Alone. As these tensions grew, Twitch and its employees that have been known as very woke for years took out Dr. Disrespect. That's a bridge right there, and that is definitely an accusation that I think at face value I can 100% agree with. It's just, in order to make a concrete claim on that, don't really have any evidence other than, you look at everybody that's over there at Twitch, everybody who's left, and it's like, they have a very strong bias. Did they help lead to shining a light on what Doc did? Very much so. Painting it in a certain light, and especially with the people that amplified those allegations. I mean, it's a reasonable conclusion to come to. An ex-Twitch employee leaked that Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch from talking to a minor. Immediately, Kris Tyson started attacking Nick Merckx, claiming that he was a hypocrite for telling the Alphabet Mafia to leave kids alone when his own friend, Doc, was preying on minors. Yeah, it was around that time that Kris was making all of the allegations against Nick Merckx that it would end up getting levied with not but a month later, and in on and around the exact same time that Kris purged the Twitter account that would later only be the host of a very convoluted apology. Merckx did not support Disrespect. In fact, he called him out too. The Kris Tyson woke team took a multiple victory laps celebrating the fall of Nick Merckx's homie, Doc. Pokimane and Valkyrie, who rarely speak on such issues, came out of the woodwork to dance on the grave of Disrespect. Yes. Nick Merck's team, in response, started digging up everything on Kris Tyson's past. Old tweets, old videos, old Kris Tyson associates were uncovered. Roughly 3 weeks after the fall of Disrespect, Nick Merck's team had enough to bury Kris Tyson as someone who has talked, with minors. As why influencers like Pokimane and Valkyrie had so much pressure to speak out on Kris Tyson, because hey man, you want to go ahead and you want to think that it's good virtue signaling points. We're standing up for kids. All right, here's a 1-to-1 situation. Hell, I wouldn't even think that 1-to-1 is a fair comparison to make here. This is a categorically worse set of accusations. You must stand with this as well. And then, just hold on a second, because we got another differentiating factor that we have to reconcile. They were held to the same standard that Nick Merckx was held to when he had to denounce disrespect. I felt like I needed to make this tweet because so many didn't want to recognize this for what it was, a massive culture war that didn't involve an entire didn't involve the entire online entertainment community. This war has not ended. It has just begun. I would imagine so, because it seems like a daily occurrence where we find out more stuff about Kris Tyson, and the more that we find out about it, the more that these Kris supporters, the people on his team, just continue to try to obfuscate, continue to try to push it off into the dark corners where hopefully, we already made our statement on this. Can we just go ahead and focus on astroturfing Kamala Harris? It's a very strange situation that we find ourselves in this point in time, but when it comes to the facts, when it comes to the posts, when it comes to Kris Tyson themselves, well, that one right there seems a lot more cut and dry, and that's why I'd rather focus on the news as opposed to anything else. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.